Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to California Community College Softball on SportsNetUSA.net. We are on the campus of Cerritos College, Nancy Kelly Field, as the Cerritos Falcons host the Long Beach City College Vikings. Here on SportsNetUSA.net, Long Beach comes into this game 8-7, while Cerritos is 8-6, 1-0 in conference play. Corey Neyland, Mark Pavlovich, Ed Ford on the call. And, Mark, it should be an outstanding game here this afternoon.
Well, you look at these two teams, and really what it comes down to is it's got to be defensive play. We had the pleasure of talking to the coaching staff of Long Beach City College. Of course, Megan Martinez, the head coach, Hector Palafox, Gunnar Seberg, Mike Mora, Mike Rogers, and Tiffany Sorea. They all told us it's all based on defense. And, Corey, we look at these two teams. ERA, Long Beach, not too bad. You look at Cerritos on the other half, they come in winning 4 out of their last 5 games. This is a team, though, that really, when you look at it, the circle has not been the vocal point for either of these two teams the last couple seasons, and they really have to find somebody with a strong arm. But I think it comes down to defense can't make a mistake. Whoever makes a mistake defensively loses this game today.
Exactly, and we're going to start it off. And you said Sierra Gertz in the circle for Cerritos on the season. She is 6-6, 66.1 innings pitched, 23 strikeouts, 18 balls, and the left-hander Elijah Vega steps into the batter's box, and we'll get that lineup in just a moment. Both offense and defense, the lefty delivers. Strike one, let her high.
And realize some of the rules have changed in the game of softball. The slap hitter, even if they come close to stepping out of the box while they're trying to swing at it, will now be called out on the play.
And there's one fouled down the right field first baseline for 0-2 count just started, and it shouldn't deter them either, Mark.
Well, and what it does, though, is that helps the defense, Corey, for the simple reason a slap hitter used to get that cheat step out of the box. No longer, so defense doesn't have to be as quick necessarily like they did in the old days.
0-2 pitch on the way, and it's lifted to left field, and back goes Spoelstra for the first out. And that'll bring up Amanda Mccallum at the shortstop, the right-hander. She'll be batting second and third as Alyssa Cienfuegos, probably the team's best hitter. And Raven Agape is batting fourth if someone gets on. She's playing third base. And Gert starts off Mccallum with a strike right down the heart of the plate. Her battery mate is Deja Sendejas. At first base, Kira Bolinas. Second base is Rain Vega. One pitch on the way. Nice off-speed pitch at the knees for strike two. 0-2. At third base is Kayla Hernandez. At shortstop, who made that first out, Tina Spoelstra. In left field, Brianna Lopez. Center field, Kayla Aros. And right field is Emma Wolf. That one's outside. 1-2.
You look at Long Beach and you think about them offensively, a batting average of .339. They get on base at a .427 clip. You'd like that a little higher. .466 is that slugging percentage. 9 home runs so far this season.
1-2 pitch. Outside corner? No, outside. It's 2-2. And those 9 home runs, Mark, come from 2 players. Agape has 4, Cienfuegos has 5. The lefty. 2-2 pitches high. Left field line. And that is the second out. That one caught by Brianna Lopez.
Well, Corey, when you think about it, and you talked about the home runs only by 2 people, I mean, you really look at a team that total bases so far this season, 187 total bases. Extra base hits, 31. So, I mean, this isn't a team that's going to go out and overpower you offensively when they play against you.
Cienfuegos takes that one high outside for ball 1. She leads the team in home runs with 5, RBI 12, runs scored 16, slugging percentage mark at .761. Oh, and she's walked 9 times, the right-hander has. She'll take that one in there for a strike, 1-1.
You know the most startling offensive fact, though, coming into this game for Long Beach? They've only had 1 sacrifice fly the entire season. That means nobody's moved. Nobody's scored on an out.
1-1. Another off-speed pitch at the knees. Go for a strike, 1-2. She doesn't like it. As Cienfuegos steps back in the batter's box. Right-hander with the staggered stance. Outside, 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here in the top of the first inning from Nancy Kelly Field. I haven't been to Cerritos softball field since they built Nancy Kelly Field. It's nice.
It's a really nice field.
And this one slugged into left field, and back goes Lopez over her head, hits the wall. And Cienfuegos with a stand-up double. So a 2-out double for Cienfuegos brings up Raven Agape.
And the ball does carry well on this field. Corey, we got here already. You were teasing about the wind playing with our paperwork. But as we stand here in our press box, we have wind coming through our press box. Going out to right field. It's straight away to right now is what the wind is doing.
Outside to Agape, who has 4 home runs on the season. Batting .373. Make it .313 and .389 on-base percentage. We got 200 down left, 200 down right, 200 straight away. This one's knuckled back for a ball, for a strike, 1-1, 2 outs. Cienfuegos on second. If Agape gets on, Julia Juarez, the first baseman, the 5th place batter. Jennifer Tobar is 6, Laura Blevins is 7, Samantha Ontiveros 8, Emily Hoppy 9th. There's one outside, 2-1, 2 outs.
And when you think about Blevins on this team, that's the speed player for this Long Beach team. Sort of surprised she isn't where she is in the batting lineup because she is 2nd right now in the conference in stolen bases with 10.
High outside, good eye by Agape. 3-1, and here's where that circle command you were talking about during the pregame, Mark, is Gertz, who's 6-6, shows flashes of what she can do. Had a no-hitter in high school for the Montebello Oilers, and really needs to get back into this one. And she loses the batter, and Agape draws the walk, 1st and 2nd with 2 outs.
Well, she's got a herky-jerky motion for a lefty when you watch her out there, when she strides towards the plate.
And that will bring up Julia Juarez. Juarez stands tall. Takes that one at the knees. No, just below the knees. Ball 1-0. Gertz now struggling after the first 2 outs were very quick.
And when you've got a herky-jerky motion, Corey, sometimes your rhythm gets off. Once it gets off, it's very hard to catch up with it when you have an unusual or unorthodox move.
And this one's right down the heart, 1-1.
You notice on the last pitch, she took a little velocity off the pitch just to find the zone.
Juarez out of Long Beach Wilson High School, home of the Bruins. Takes the 1-2 pitch just low. 1-1 pitch just low. 2-1. So runners at 1st and 2nd. 2 pop-ups to the left side with the first 2 outs, a double and a walk here. This one's grounded. Down to Spoelstra, over to Vega for the 3rd out of the inning. So no runs, 1 hit, and no errors. At the end of half, no score. And Cerritos will come up and mark. All these games are brought to you by whom?
Miller Toyota of Anaheim. That's right. You're looking for that new or used Toyota. Hey, it's that time of season to buy. Tax time right around the corner. Be like Corey and Neyland, take that $5,000 rebate. You go down to Miller Toyota of Anaheim and you say, here you go, guys. Government's paying for this one. Let me have that new Toyota from Miller Toyota of Anaheim. If you're like Mr. Pavlovich, you go down there because you're going to be paying your taxes this year. Well, you know what? You pick up that used Toyota from Miller Toyota and just say to them, hey, sportsnetusa.net sent me down here. You get the deal of a lifetime. Miller Toyota of Anaheim, located at Euclid in the 91. Don't forget, Miller Toyota of Anaheim is a proud sponsor of community college sports, high school sports, but most of all, education. That's Miller Toyota of Anaheim.
We'll go ahead and get this batting order for Cerritos. Brianna Lopez, the do-everything offensive player for Cerritos, leads the team in home runs at 7, RBIs at 19. She's got a .913 slugging percentage, scored 19 times as a leadoff player. Tina Spoelstra at shortstop. Brianna Spoelstra, designated player. Kira Bolinas at first base. Rain Vega at second base. Batting 6 is Kayla Hernandez. She gets to start at third base. Kayla Aros batting 7th. Deja Sendejas batting 8th. And in the 9th spot is Emma Wolf.
Look at Cerritos batting 306 as a team. On-base percentage 425. Slugging percentage 450. They've got 8 home runs coming into this game. And when you talk about maybe only one player's got home runs for the team, well, it's Brianna Lopez, who's got 7 of those 8 home runs for Cerritos. Not bad for a leadoff hitter, huh, Corey?
No. Right-handed batter. Had a leadoff, not a leadoff, but a walk-off home run in their last game. No, not the last game, against... Yeah, that was the last game. Sorry. Last game against L.A. Harbor. And strike 1, Cienfuegos. Powerfully built right-hander in the circle. So they're going to say it's an illegal pitch. So it's going to be a ball instead of a strike. That was the first base umpire called the illegal pitch.
And so you're going to try and catch and see what she did. If it's the hands or if. And they talked about it. We saw it when we went up for the Glendale tournament. We actually with the foot, Corey, and they were talking about umpires now give you the benefit of the doubt when you lift your foot up and slide it across. It's still called a contact on it. You can't just physically remove it and set it down again.
So 1 ball, no strikes to Lopez, who swung and missed that first pitch. And Cienfuegos, her battery mate is Ontiveros. At first base, Julia Juarez. At second will be Jennifer Tobar. Third base, Raven Agape. 1-0 pitch on the way. That's low. 2-0. And the shortstop will be Amanda Mccallum. In left field, Laura Blevins. Center field, Emily Hoppy. And right field, Elijah Vega. 2-0 pitch. That's in there at the letters for strike 1, 2 and 1.
You look at Lopez, too. You can talk about her home run prowess, but she leads the team in strikeouts also when you think about it. She's got an on-base percentage, like you've already mentioned, of 474. 8 walks, 9 strikeouts. You'd like the ratio to be a little different for a leadoff hitter.
Yeah. I think those 7 home runs counterbalance that, Mark. 3 balls, 1 strike, hitters count. 15 hits, 4 doubles, 1 triple, 7 home runs. This one's late on it, foul tipped back. Full count.
Every 5 times she comes up, she strikes out. Every 8 times she comes up, she might get a home run.
Every 8 times she gets a home run. I think you'll take that now in today's softball game. Times is changing. 3 balls, 2 strikes, no outs. Bottom 1. And that is ball 4. Everybody was waiting for the call.
Batting second for the Falcons, the shortstop, number 36, Spoelstra.
So Lopez says, I can walk, as that's her 10th, or excuse me, her 9th walk of the season. As Tina Spoelstra checks in. Right-handed batter. Lanky batter with no outs. Squares the butt, brings back, takes strike 1. The Spoelstra sisters, Tina and Brianna. She's a freshman out of Mayfair, all Suburban League first team while she was there at Mayfair. Takes that one high. 1-1. batting .300 with 5 stolen bases on the season, which leads the team. Rana Lopez at first base took that walk. Cienfuegos delivers. Doesn't catch the corner.
Hey, you're right there. Just work to get around that ball. Hey, you're right there.
Count now says 2-1.
Try to get around it, Sam.
You talk to coaches about how bunts aren't dropped or anything anymore, yet you look at Long Beach coming in at the corner, crowding in the infield. There's that bunt that we said you don't see in softball anymore.
And Spoelstra can't lay it down, 2-2. And here's where you expect with a good bunter, try to lay that down one more time with the perfect pitch. So Lopez didn't get a gigantic lead at first base. As you see, first and third now back. Off-speed pitches high and outside, 3-2. So Cienfuegos on the season, 38 strikeouts, 18 walks given up. Coming into this game at 4-6 record, with a 4-6 record in her 12th appearance. This one is fouled left side and out of play. Three balls, 2 strikes, bottom of the first inning. No score. One hit for Long Beach in their top half. That was ball 4, so 2 walks given up by Cienfuegos, and there's runners on first and second. Nobody out with Brianna Spoelstra coming up to the plate. And Brianna, second team All-Suburban League out of Mayfair. And that Mayfair team, they were coached by former Cerritos player Aaron Brown and Katie Cullen.
So you look at Brianna batting .379. She's got an on-base percentage of .526 and a slugging percentage of .621 is what you want to see in that person in the third spot. Second in RBIs with the team with 13 so far. Somebody who's got a great eye, Corey, because she's walked 9 times, only struck out twice. So this is a number 3 hitter that's going to put the ball in play for you offensively.
So with runners at first and second, no outs, Cerritos trying to get on the board quickly. She takes one right down the heart.
And again, you look, Long Beach comes in at the corners. They bring him in halfway at second and short. I don't know, defensively, old school guy here. I'm going to back up my second base person and shortstop. I'm going to try and turn 2 against this Cerritos team.
0-1 count, delivery, bounced foul. So 0-2 pitch to Spoelstra. She's got to put it in play. And here's where you back your infielders up, maybe just 1 or 2 steps, make them even at the bag. You want to get that lead runner going to third.
Tobar stays in at second. A little surprised she doesn't take your advice, back up a half a step.
This one's Knuckle, actually Flair down the right field line, foul. Had a wicked slice on it.
A little late on the swing.
A little bit.
And again, when you've got somebody doing something like that, this is where you need the ball to move up, down, in, and out. You want to come and jam somebody right here. If you're going to mistake on the inside of the plate if you're in the circle right now.
This one's foul. Can't really catch up to that fastball. Cienfuegos a 3.12 earned run average on the season. Going fastball, fastball, fastball. And right time mark, she did bring it in just a little bit.
Now if you can pull the spring just a little because you've got somebody who's looking for that pitch they're going to try and pull.
This one's line to second base. Tobar up with it over to first to Juarez for the first out.
Corey, a really nice play by Tobar, but I'm going to go back and say what you already mentioned. If you're back 2 more steps, because that thing was hit like a rocket, you can turn and go to second. You're going to say no. I'm going to say yes and make that play.
Bring up Kira Bolinas, left-handed batter.
My
Dad agrees
expert,
with you?
Ed Ford, agrees with me down in my right.
But she was backed up. She was right there. She wasn't in front of the bag at that last play. Outside, ball one, runners at second and third.
Yeah, but again, if you're at double play depth with who you have runners on first and second, if you can turn to allow that person to get to third, you get out of the inning. Now you've got 2 runners in scoring position with 1 out.
Way to move the runners over by Spoelstra. Bolina's 375 hitter early in this season. 9 walks, which leads the team. Takes that one for a strike, 1-1. 1 out in the bottom of the first.
Long Beach comes in now to cut the runner off at home with the ball hit directly at him.
Fouled off left side. Out of play, 1-2. Did I miss an error in that first inning by Cerritos, Mark?
I didn't see it by Cerritos. I had a fly, a double, a walk, and a fielder's choice.
Okay.
That's what I had.
Making sure this one's high. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Bottom of the first inning. Cerritos threatening. Falcon Lopez on third and Falcon Spoelstra on second. Delivers. Strike 3 outside corner. Got her looking. 2 down. Good pitch by Cienfuegos. Rain Vega now, the second baseman, comes up to bat, batting .333, wearing number 33, the right-hander, with 6 RBI.
And again, as a pitcher, yeah, velocity can be that one pitch that gets you up, but you've got to have a hitter, eyes moving too, going in, out, high and low.
And Cienfuegos just overpowering people right now. Vega was a little bit late. 0-1.
Realize if you're a defender for Long Beach, the ball comes to you, you got to play at first base. You don't need to rush. Don't give them a gift right now.
Foul back to the right side in the vicinity of the parked cars, 0-2. So Cienfuegos, things got a little bit away from her after that first pitch was called illegal. Walked the first 2 batters. Outside high, 1-2. And she gets a ground ball to the second base, a strikeout. The last at bat, looking to get out of this unharmed.
Outfield playing straight away for Long Beach. Vega a little towards the line in right field.
And there's one. So Cienfuegos gets out of it, no runs, no hits, no errors. 2 left on base so at the end of 1. No score here at Nancy Kelly Field on the campus of Cerritos College. This is California Community College softball on SportsNetUSA.net. How many 3s and how many C's and how many A's in this?
The CCCAA, that's 5 letters.
Okay.
3 of them are C's, 2 of them are A's. Unless you want to throw the coaches in there, and then you throw the softball, and then that's a triple C, then they go to different direction. When we're talking about softball right now, of course, when we'll be looking at the standings and everything else, you look at somebody who doesn't get talked about a lot, and you look at Cody that's over there at Cerritos, the winningest coach for Cerritos College now in softball, Cody Murray, and you look at what she's done, Corey, and you think it's outstanding, and then everybody turns around and likes to mention a coach that's over at Cypress College who's got 1,300 wins. Any coach that's got 500 more wins in softball, to me, has just done an outstanding job, and that's what Cody has done here with this Cerritos softball program.
Yeah, I mean, she's got a state title. I mean, it's something that's.
27 will be the OP, and 16 playing left field position 7.
So we're getting changes again now
So
in the lineups defensively for Cerritos.
So Brianna Spoelstra goes to left field for Brianna Lopez.
The second baseman, number 2,
And the OP is now going to be Brianna Lopez. And Spoelstra, Aros, and Wolf left to right in the outfield. Gertz still in the circle. Infield still the same with Hernandez, tennis Spoelstra. First pitch on the way. Outside, ball one. And that's to Jennifer Tobar. Tobar on the season, batting .426, which leads the team. Rain Vega at second base, Bolinas at first. Lefty delivers, and that one's high, 2-0. So in that first inning, no runs, 1 hit for Long Beach. 2 left on base. This one's flared into right field. Wolf under it, makes the grab for the first out. Bring up Laura Blevins, the left fielder. Blevins with 10 stolen bases. You mentioned that earlier, which leads the team. 12 hits on the season thus far and 1 double. The lefty looking for speed out there. We'll take that one for a strike.
And if you're Long Beach right now against the Cerritos team, I think the best advice you say to your hitters is be patient when you look at Gertz. I mean, she's got 22 strikeouts, Corey, but when you look at it also, she's got those 18 walks in her 67 innings.
She lays one down, back to Gertz, over to first, covering his Vega for the out. So 1-4 if you're scoring at home. Now to bring up Samantha Ontiveros. The catcher steps in. Batting .429 and 28 at-bats, though. Half of the at-bats as Agape and Cienfuegos. 500 on base percentage. Outside 1-0.
You look at Cerritos winning 4 or 5 coming into this game. Long Beach not doing it as well, but that's really what you need in softball. You need to get on that streak. You need to get those 5 wins in a row.
2-0.
Because everybody does everything right when you start winning. Your defense plays a little stronger. Your pitcher gets a little sharper in the circle, and you go up and think you can get a base hit every time. Both these teams need to get on that streak to work their way up the food chain.
This one's high, fly, ball. And as you hear the umpire say, foul ball.
He was about as excited as you were on that one, wasn't he?
Yes.
Corley Neyland calling the action here in the snack bar. I just got to keep his eye away from the Nestle chocolate, the peanut butter on his left, the M&Ms up in the corner.
No problem. If they were donuts, then we'd have a problem. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Off-speed pitch. Good at-bat by Ontiveros just to get a bat on it. Tip that foul. Nice pitch by Gertz. And you see Gertz has 2 pitches in her array thus far. That fastball and off-speed. Two pitch on the way. A little bit late. And you see just enough she takes off on that off-speed pitch.
Well, the thing, too, when you watch her deliver, like I said again, she's got an unusual approach as a lefty. It's a little herky-jerky in there. So as a hitter, you have to really keep your eye on the ball so you don't get caught up in her motion.
3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. We're about to get ahead of ourselves. On deck is Emily Hoppy. We were talking to the Long Beach coaches. We'll talk about bat speed a little bit later. This one's grounded back to Gertz. Over to Spoelstra. Rifles it over for the out to Bolinas. 1 ball, 1 out. Or excuse me, 3 outs. 1 out, 2 out, 3 outs. 1, 2, 3 inning.
And on that last play, if you're scoring at home with us, that was a 1-6-3 put out defensively.
And why is that, Mark?
Ball ricocheted off the pitcher in the circle. Goes over to Spoelstra short. She picks up with a nice strong throw over to first base. You know, we talked about the food chain and everything that's going on.
And that's the no score here as we move to the bottom of the second.
So we'll be talking about that in a little while when we look at all the teams in here in northern and southern California.
So after that, yeah, you said the food chain at the end of this inning. Well, we'll talk about it.
Okay. We were talking about bat speed. You were talking to the coaches about hitting and how bat speed has changed over the years and how it's caught up with the pitching in the circle. My contention is the pitching in the circle has become less over the years for the simple reason you used to have the specialists that would throw your 300 innings. Long Beach would like to go back to 1993 when Patty Gasso was around and had a pitcher that pitched 230 innings and had an ERA of 0.35 in the circle.
Yeah, but like you said, it was different. The in the circle, with the circle was closer.
It was
the
closer.
Players were a little bit more attuned to the slap hitting, to move the runners along the base paths, and they didn't have a chance to develop that bat speed as what we see today. And the game has changed. It's getting more like, as you say, getting more like that other sport.
That other boring sport? That's what I loved about softball. It was so quick.
And now we have Kayla Hernandez, the third baseman, leading off the second inning for Cerritos. Takes the first pitch for a strike. After Hernandez will be Kayla Eros and Deja Sendejas. If any of those get on, Emma Wolf, the ninth place hitter, steps up. Like we said, 200 all around. Right-hander delivers to the right-hander, off speed. Couldn't tell if that was going to be an off-speed pitch or a rise ball, Mark, but it was simply a ball, 1-1.
Well, you notice when she goes up a little high that she holds on that ball just a little too long. It does nothing and just sort of floats across the plate.
And this one for Hernandez, she takes that one to center field, and it's dropped by Hoppy. And that's going to be a stand-up double for Hernandez. So we're going to give an E8 on Hoppy. Lost it in the sun. So Kayla Aro's trying to do some damage, and they're going to say that was a hit, Mark. I like the scorekeeper.
You know, they're changing my blood sugar medicine. They keep this up. We're going to change my blood pressure medicine, too. Ball hit somebody's glove. That's an error.
Yeah, but you know what, Mark? The ball hit the glove accidentally. I don't think the center fielder, Hoppy, knew where the ball was at all. Showed the bunt, brings it back 1-0. Just stuck her glove out there and it hit. So that's a double. First hit of the game for Cerritos.
And you look at Kayla Eros batting 167.
Brings that one back. And, you know, that was a good pitch by Cienfuegos. She turned around to bunt. If that's a little bit lower, she lays it down. If she still stays on that bunt, she's going to pop that one up. That was an excellent pitch by Cienfuegos. 1 ball, 1 strike, no outs, bottom 2. Popped up. Ontiveros can't get there. 1 ball, 2 strikes now. And Mark, when you're batting 167, you saw that swing there. Do you try to lay it down if you're Cody Murray and Teller?
I do. Yeah, I do. I try to get my runner to third base, especially when you look at the defense that Long Beach is sitting at right now. Agape comes in a little at third. Mccallum at short's not moving if the runner takes off. That's the difficult catch at third base if the runner goes.
This one's lined back up, and there is with the backhand Tobar over to Juarez at first.
Safe.
And safe. Juarez couldn't step on the bag. And you wonder what Juarez was thinking after that hit. It was a nice backhand by Tobar. So is that going to be, that's got to be an error. Okay. And that's going to be E3, Mark.
Yeah.
Advances the runner. And could you explain a little bit about what happened on that play?
Well, I mean, you have a ball that's backhanded at second base. A nice little stop taken there by Tobar. The runner, because it looked like they may be dropping down a bunt, you had people in at the corner. So Juarez has to go back because she was in because of the bunt. goes back to find first base and looks down but sees the ball coming, takes her eye off the bag, doesn't touch the bag in time to get the out. So now you have runners at first and third, there by 2 errors.
1 error, 1 hit. And that's ball 1 high.
And we talked about at the beginning of the show, Corey. We said before this game started, if you're going to win this game, you had to play flawless defense.
Yeah, and this is one of those games where both teams want to win, need to win, and can really enhance the rest of their season. The defense letting them down right now, squares around and brings it back for a strike, 1-1. So Sendejas batting .231, 2 doubles, 4 RBI on the season. And again, both these teams with 8 wins, 6 losses, and 7 losses respectively, they really need something to get them going as they head into conference play. 1-1 pitch, lined into right field. That's going to bring in 1. No error on that one. And Arl stops at second. RBI single for Deja Sendejas. And that brings to the plate Emma Wolf. 105 in there for defensive purposes. And with no outs, Mark, you're looking to lay one down again. Juarez and Agape in at the corners. And she tries to lay one down, but ended up fighting that off. 0-1.
If you're going to sacrifice with a bunt, you turn, you square your shoulders up towards the pitcher, you put your bat out in front of the plate, and you catch the ball with your bat, and you give yourself up to advance the runner.
Well, if she gave herself up on that one, she was taking one to the chest. That one, she tries to poke out there and didn't lay it down, 0-2.
But again, Corey, watch the foot position of the people that are bunting the balls. They stay back with their back foot instead of bringing their back foot up and squaring up to the plate to sacrifice themselves.
Oh, no balls, 2 strikes, no outs. Bottom 2, 1-0 Cerritos. Wolf takes it high.
Again now, don't overthrow if you're in the circle. Wolf's going to be back deep in the box. What you want to do is jam her to make sure the ball comes back. If you jam her properly, Juarez is going to be able to make a play at third.
Tried to jam her a little bit too inside, 2-2. This happened to Cienfuegos in the first inning. 2 on, 1-0 on 2 hits. 1 error this inning for Long Beach. Stays alive.
Now here's something that's really interesting because I'm going to bring it up. If you're Samantha Ontiveros, you turn around and look at the umpire and you say, hey, she keeps backing up her back foot. She's on the line.
And strike 3 inside corner looking. Beautiful pitch by Cienfuegos. That's her 3rd strikeout. Now top of the order for Brianna Lopez, Mark. So she's got 7 home runs on the season. Very powerful hitter. Leads the team with 19 RBIs with 1 out. Aria standing at second.
Looking for that double play ball if you're the Vikings.
Outside. And you got to be careful bringing it in to Lopez, Mark.
You've got to be aware that you've got runners on base, too, that can take off at any time for Cerritos. So you can't relax defensively if you're Long Beach right now.
Hernandez got the first hit of the inning on a breaking ball. There's that inside corner pitch again for a strike, 1-1. So Hernandez on an off-speed pitch took it to left center field for a double. Not an error. Lopez 1-1. Takes that one high.
And if you're at Long Beach right now and realizing that that unearned run has got you down, you don't want to make another error to get down by any more than one right now.
Last year, first team All South Coast Conference. And this one's lined into right field, and that is caught by Vega. Tagging up is Aros. And she moves to third, and they want to throw down to second base. They say safe. She did tag up. That was drilled to right field, Mark, and it looked like Vega took a wrong angle. Threw that glove up and made a nice catch.
Well, she came in her first step because it was a line drive, and it was going to be a line drive that was going to be chest high. The ball started to climb on her, Corey, and she realized it was climbing. She recovered quickly, and she made an excellent play out in right field. Her first initial step was the right one. It looked like that line drive directly to her. Her recovery was excellent to make a sharp defensive play.
So 2 outs here. Runners at the corners. 1-0. And there goes Sendejas, and she has a stolen base. That's her third stolen base on the season. Coaching staff wanting Ontiveros to make that change, make that challenge, throw down to second base. So Spoelstra walked in the first inning, advanced to second base, no further. 1 run across here in the bottom second, and she lifts one to center field. That's going to drop, bringing in 1. Aros scores, and they hold Sendejas at third, and there's Spoelstra. She's safe, got back to the bag,
out.
And on the second one, they get her tagged out.
I thought she was out on the first one, honestly. I really did. I thought the umpire missed the call on the first tag right there, Corey, and then he makes it up on a second tag right there. Nice throw when you think about it, honestly, from Hoppy out in center field. She brings it home, hits the cutoff person. That's one of the things you like somebody to do defensively. And then you realize when that runner's going to second, go get him. Don't give him second base, and an excellent throw to second base. I thought the first tag she was out. The umpire gets it right on the second tag. So 2 unearned runs come in for Cerritos.
2 runs, 3 hits, 1 error. And the score at the end of 2, Cerritos 2, Vikings nothing. This is California Community College Athletic Association softball on Sportsnet USA. .net. You're talking about the food chain, Mark, about the polls that first came out and what they've done since then.
Yeah, when you really think about the polls that came out, well, everybody knew who was going to be at the top of the poll when this season started. It had to be that team that went through all last year being undefeated when you think about it, and that was going to be Cerritos College. There's no doubt about it. As we look at what's going on right now, I mean Cypress Cerritos College. Cypress College right now, and you look at Cypress 4-0, post-poll 6-0, 10-0 overall. Right now, the big question is who's going to beat them. We talked about this online, Ed Ford, you and myself, and of course I think what it's going to be is that Cypress is going to get so slap happy that somebody's going to sneak up and bite them, and they're going to end up getting knocked off that pedestal of undefeated.
Yeah, they'll lose 1, but we don't know who Cypress, as you see. There's 1 Sierra College up north, the College of San Mateo up north. San Mateo, one of the perennials to make the state tournament. Mount Sac also a perennial. So a post poll, San Mateo is now 9-0, also undefeated, 14-2 overall. So they started out at 5-2, but they've won 9 straight. First pitch on the way is a strike in there.
But the thing is, when you were looking at the poll that we had up there just a second ago, a lot of familiar teams up there. Mount Sac is up there. These 2 teams, Long Beach and Cerritos, were mentioned. They did get votes as the season started. And I think it's just that you have that team at Cypress that sort of gets the community college player that does not move on for whatever reason to D1, D2, NAIA. And Brad Pickler has been lucky enough to grab them so far. I think that's going to even out.
And this one's lined by Burnell. Vega up with it over to Bolinas at first for the first out. So 4-3. And that was Ileana Bernal, who batted for Emily Hoppy. And you saw that top 10 rounding out. The last 5 were Santiago Canyon, Feather River, Palomar, Diablo Valley, and Ohlone College. So you'll see those top 10 teams throughout the season making headlines. First pitch for the second at bat of Elijah Vega is outside for ball 1. She popped to the shortstop in the first inning. Gert still in the circle. Evens up the count at 1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Yeah, and you like the poll when you saw what they started with and what they've done since. A lot of undefeated since then, Mark. This one bounced up the middle, diving is Spoelstra, past her glove, into center field, and Aros brings it back in, and the base hit for Elijah Vega. So Amanda Mccallum, her first at bat, flew out to left field with 1 out. That's the second hit of the game. And the Vikings now looking to at least cut into this 2-0 deficit.
And if the camera was on her well enough, you could watch Mccallum up in front of the plate. She's going to step up as high as she can in front of home plate. And Corey, one of the reasons you do that if you're a hitter, if somebody's throwing a really nice breaking ball, you're going to take the break away from them. If they're throwing a really cool drop pitch, what you're going to do is you're going to get that pitch before it does drop if you can sneak up in front of home plate. And those are ways you take pitches away from somebody in the circle offensively when you're against them. Get a little equipment change going on here. Oh.
Yeah, actually on that dive by Spoelstra, bloodied her elbow a little bit.
Okay.
I had to put some bandages on it, and she's good to go. Tough player out there. 2-0 in the top of the third inning. Long Beach with the runner at first base, Falcons with the lead.
Hey, if you're not dirty, if you're not hurt, you didn't play. You know.
I never ascribed to that rule.
Yeah.
Trying to stay as clean as possible.
Third string, Corey Neyland.
I was too good. I didn't have to get dirty. Rolls one in there, and there goes Vega. And she's at second base.
What an excellent coaching job you've got from Long Beach, because you will have coaches that will constantly say to you, if a catcher can't cleanly get the ball, take off running. Little hesitation, not much, but a nice play out there by Vega. And the base coach over there saying, hey, ball's in the dirt, go. She's now in scoring position.
Gertz low on that one, so it's 3-0 with 1 out, runner in scoring position. Amanda Mccallum. I think she's taking all the way here. With 1 out, I think he would be taking this pitch. This one is low and outside. So that's the second walk given up by Gertz today. So runners at first and second with Cienfuegos up to bat, the most dangerous hitter on this team. As we said, 15 hits, 3 doubles, 1 triple this season with 5 home runs and 12 RBIs. Oh, Allison Udell is warming up in the bullpen. Udell was 2-0, 20 innings pitched, so we'll see if she comes in. Cody Murray talking to her team in the circle.
So the freshman from Whittier Christian. And again, if you're Long Beach right now, Corey, really, defensively, you put yourself in the hole. So this is what you want to do. You want to make sure you watch those base coaches. Again, you've got runners in scoring position because of an excellent running play. Why they were on base when the ball gets away from them. This is where a runner needs to pick up their base coach, and their base coach needs to really trust the runner. If I'm sending you home, that means I know you can get there.
Yeah, Carson Colt steps into the batter's box, and the right-hander versus a left-handed pitcher with one out takes it high. So this is the top of the third inning, Mark.
This is interesting, Corey, because all the Long Beach batters have moved up in the box. They've adjusted to what is coming at them from the circle.
This one is popped high up by Cienfuegos. Back is Vega, and she makes the catch.
Infield fly rule was automatically called from the home plate umpire. That's because you have runners on first and second with none or at least one out. The reason being, take away deception in the game of softball. What could you normally do? Where you stick that glove up there, you go to catch it, let it drop between your legs, flip it over to your shortstop, got an easy double play.
So Agape steps in for ball one. 2 outs. Big out, Mark. Cienfuegos was just a little bit too amped up and ready to hit one out. And it was a nice pitch, out pitch by Gertz. Brought it high to the letters. Cienfuegos came up under it. 1-0 pitch is low, 2-0.
1-0 if you're Long Beach right now, too, you want to look at the field defensively and see where the infielders are at. Bolinas back deep at first. Vega, though, shading over towards second base. You have a huge gap going out to right field.
3 balls, no strikes.
And again, another Long Beach hitter up in the box, front toe on the front line, taking away what was ever there, maybe working.
And with that defense, you got to be careful on those outside pitches. You're taking all the way here. And that one's a strike letter high. And now you got a 3-1 count, Mark, which is a hitter's count. And you talk about that big hole on the right side of the field. If it's an outside pitch, you got to go with it. That you think that'll score one.
Well, especially when you end up looking at Bolinas, who's almost over on the line at first.
And this one's popped up, hit deep to left center field, and that is caught by Kayla Aros. And that is just good defense. Scoring at home, F3, no runs. 1 hit, no errors, and 2 left on base. At the end of 2.5, your score, Falcons 2, Vikings nothing. Coming up to the plate for the Falcons, Brianna Spoelstra, Kara Mullins, Bolinas, and Rain Vega. This is Community College Softball on SportsNetUSA.net. Corey Neyland, Mark Pavlovich, Ed Ford in the booth.
And for you that didn't know, well, when we talk about Long Beach City College, well, who came out of Long Beach City College? Well, Patty Gasso was the head coach at Long Beach City College. She arrived there and spent 5 seasons at Long Beach City College, compiling a record of 161 wins, 59 losses, and 1 tie. Gasso's teams won 4 South Coast Conference titles and twice captured the Southern California Regional. And in 1992, she was named the California Community College Coach of the Year and the National Fast Pitch Coaches Association Western Regional Coach of the Year. Following the 94 season, she accepted the coaching position at the University of Oklahoma. Of course, we know what she's done there. Corey, one of the pitchers that she had was Nikki Rephart. Nikki is classified as probably the greatest pitcher out of Long Beach City College when you see her. I mean, her career there, she still holds 9 records from the circle at Long Beach City College.
So Brianna Spoelstra comes up to the plate for the Falcons, and she takes that one for a strike, letter high, 0-1. Cienfuegos had a chance to help herself in her top half of the inning, but popped out. We'll see what she does here to try to end the third, down 2-0 He's given up 3 hits thus far. Off-speed pitch in there for a strike, 0-2. Good pitch. When you talk on the opposite side, Mark, you talk about prior to Cody Murray. And a little bit prior to Cody Murray. And there's one lined up the middle. Good piece of hitting by Spoelstra. And she leads off the inning with a base hit to center field. Nancy Kelly Field is where we're at. Nancy Kelly led Cerritos to their first championship in 1978. 502 career wins, broken by Cody Murray. And that was done this season. She was a coach here from 1976 to 1997. High and outside, ball 1.
So in other words, if you take her career and Cody's career, add them together, that's about as long as Nick Buscardo's been over at Fullerton College.
No, Nick, no. Nobody's been in coaching as long as Nick Buscardo. 2-0. Nick Buscardo, his team, he fielded Laurel, Hardy, and Charlie Chapman. I'm sorry. Baseball reference is better. Walter Johnson was going to go to Fullerton College, and Nick was there. Couldn't quite recruit him. Outside corner for a strike, 2-1. Four hits by the Falcons. 2 runs across, 1 error. And that's what we love about softball and baseball. 2-1 pitch on the way late was Bolinas. It's the characters, the people you meet, people we talk to. Every time you do a game, you're always going to have an interesting conversation, Mark.
Well, and realize all these coaches, too, are educators. And that's something that gets lost when we talk college sports.
This one's fouled off to the left side, out of play.
Graduate degree to the right of me when I'm talking about a coach. Graduate degree to the left of me. PhDs in softball dugouts when you think about the coaches today.
2 balls, 2 strikes, no outs. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Spoelstra stays on first. Good job by Ontiveros to hawk that down, prevent the runner from advancing. 3 balls, 2 strikes. And it was a nice at-bat by Brianna, who went down 0-2, Mark. And that third pitch was a fastball, led her high, and she stroked it to center field. Now Bolinas' turn, takes it low. Good at-bat by Bolinas, because she was down 0-2. And Mark, that's the second batter that's done that to Cienfuegos today. Was down 0-2 and drew a walk.
Well, now it'll be interesting to see what Coach Murray does offensively. Changing runners over at first base, so.
Andrea Vialta, now the pinch runner. At second base is Brianna Spoelstra. No outs, 4 hits, and 2 runs.
Well, do they call a pinch runner or is it a designated runner? It used to be designated runner in softball because you can actually then turn around and go back on the field defensively, switch, come back in the game as a designated runner. You're not one and done.
You know, I'm not even sure.
As a designated runner. As a pinch runner, you're one and done in baseball.
So we're going to say runner.
I'm going to say designated runner. I'm going to go with the old school.
I'm going to just go running 4.
Okay. You going to go out there and run 4? Is that what you said?
I can't run. You don't want to see that anymore. No outs. Runners at first and second. Cienfuegos and Long Beach in trouble. Inside, 1-0. So Cienfuegos, even in losing a game, she's got 7 complete games this season. Facing and turning to bunt is Vega, and that's a ball, 2-0.
This is where, as a pitcher, you want your outfield to know what we're doing. We're going to get a little time. And again, You end up going to the circle to talk to the person, trying to make sure the person in the circle isn't too fine with their pitches, that they don't overthink it when they're coming home. And that's one of the things that's every once in a while you'll find that, gee, I don't want to throw them the fat pitch because they'll probably drive it. Oh, I need to be a little clear on staying on the inside. That's where I was told to throw her in. So they cut the plate down when they're bringing it home. So you have to go back out as a pitching coach and remind them, hey, use the whole plate. You've got a defense behind you. Let them make the play.
And Cienfuegos stays in the circle. The other two players you might see in the circle for Long Beach, Elena Vizcarra is one, and Emily Hoppy is the other, if you see other than Cienfuegos. Rain Vega, second team All-South Coast Conference last season. She batted .295 with 7 doubles. She turns the bunt, brings it back, and forces a 3-0 count. Cienfuegos is not finding her spot, so you don't want to hit anything unless it's right down the middle if you're a Falcon hitter. Nice, crisp day here in Cerritos, California. She takes that one inside corner for a strike. Umpire hesitated just for a moment, Mark.
Close pitch, you sit there and you want to take it when they line up. I used to call it general pelvic alignment. I got corrected last time we were out with the umpires, but trying to get that lineup, see what the umpire gives you and doesn't give you.
Tries to lay one down, double bats it foul. And again, there's really not that emphasis on being an expert bunter anymore in baseball and softball.
Well, I'm not sure anybody knows how to give themselves up on a sacrifice anymore.
3 balls, 2 strikes. This one's bounced to Cienfuegos, over to third. Agape over to first, not in time, but they get the lead runner. Spoelstra at third, and that's the first out of the inning. So 1-5 if you're scoring at home. Advancing to second is Bolinas.
And that's a hard double play to turn. Let's be very realistic. I'm going to go to third, and then you better have a rocket of an arm if you're going back to first base.
So fielder's choice on that one. 1 out. Bottom third, Kayla Hernandez had a stand-up double her last time at bat. Takes that one for a strike inside.
Let's go back about the inability to bunt. Now you don't have runners at second and third with 1 out. You have runners at first and second with 1 out. So the inability to give yourself up puts you in a tough scoring position.
Oh, 1 pitch inside again for a strike, 0-2.
Lissa's pitching well from the circle for Long Beach.
1 out here in the bottom of the third. Falcons, and this one's cue ball to right field. Count stays 0-2.
Corey Neyland drive right down the middle. Well, sort of. Well, okay. A little to the right. Well.
If we were on the golf course, I'd take that one.
You take something hit that hard.
Hey, I'll take something that goes down and we can still find the ball. No balls, 2 strikes. This one's inside corner, high hitter. Hit the jersey.
Oh, man.
So they're going to say, take your base. Base is loaded with 1 out. Kayla Aros will now be the batter.
And here's where I'm a bad coach. I go out and say to the umpire, she turned into the pitch. She caused the contact. She didn't try to get out of the way. So you shouldn't be awarding her first base, is what my argument would be with the umpire.
So Kayla Aros now steps in. She reached base on an error the last inning. In that inning when they scored both of their runs.
So we have another designated runner. Comes in the game. Melissa Corona goes over to second base. So Corona goes over to second base. Vega will come out. A little more speed on the base path now.
So 1 out with the bases loaded. Home cooking, maybe. But you like it, though.
Gee, Corey, I guess the Long Beach coaches sort of saw it the way I saw it.
So let's see how Cienfuegos handles it, and she delivers, and there's a base hit blooper to left field. Throw over to third base. They're going to be out of there, but a run's going to score on the RBI single. Corona got a late jump. So you call it a base hit, RBI single for Aros. She's at first base. The run is scored. That was a runner for Kira Bolinas. And the runner trying to advance to third base is thrown out from left field for the second out. So 1 run across, 2 hits in the inning. Strike 1 goes to Cendejas, the catcher. Yeah, there should be 2 outs. Yeah, there's 2 outs. Yeah.
Spoelstra was out on the fielder's choice.
Right, and there's a hit in the center field right at Wolf, and she makes the catch. Or excuse me, Hoppy, and she makes the catch to end the inning. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 runners left on base. So it's 3-0 Falcons over the Vikings here on SportsNetUSA.net.
Don't forget other things around the corner here on SportsNetUSA.net. Well, this Saturday, Mr. Neyland, you're taking out your minions of Media Madness. They're going to call a game. That's not going to be video this Saturday. It's going to be audio only on SportsNetUSA.net. A little baseball. What do we get to change on? Okay.
So Rain Vega checks back into the game. She'll go to second base. Bolinas at first base, and everything is good to go.
And I'm going to go back again and talk about the hit batter. And the rule is you need to try and get out of the way of a pitch when it comes at you. If you stand there and don't even move and the ball hits you, an umpire is going to look at you and say, no, you stay here. I've seen it too many games. You had a batter that turned into the pitch when she was starting her swing. Didn't try to get out. If it catches the jersey again, I'm going to argue, and like Long Beach City College did, went out there and said, wait a minute, you've got to try and get out of the way. The umpire doesn't agree with that, but that's basically what the rule states, and I think you call it, Corey, a little home cooking every once in a while. Yeah, you do get those calls at home that you don't get if you're on the road visiting somebody else.
Yeah, and you were much more eloquent on the radio as if you were the coach and had to set it on the field.
Yeah. That's true.
Top of the 4th. 3 runs across for the Cerritos Falcons. No runs across for the Long Beach Vikings. Long Beach 2 hits thus far. 5 hits for the Falcons. As we move to the 4th inning with Julia Juarez, Jennifer Tobar, and Laura Blevins, the batters for the Vikings. Sarah Gertz still in the circle for the Falcons. And she starts this inning with a strike. And right to left in the outfield, Wolf, Aros, and Spoelstra. Left to right on the infield, Hernandez, Spoelstra, Vega, and Bolinas. Brianna in left, Tina at short. 1-1 the count. Gertz, as we said, still in the circle, and Deja Cendejas still behind the plate.
We'll talk about Rain Vega and how she cheats over towards second base and how there's a large hole over there. And everybody might say, well, why does she line up there?
When you look at the pitches being pitched, Mark, very rarely are they going to the outside part of the plate. Everything is middle in to try to get them to pull. Again, Juarez, if she gets something on the outside, all you have to do is go with the pitch and you're on base. This one's popped straight up. And Cendejas makes the underhanded catch for the first out.
And one of the other things you'll see where infielders or outfielders, Corey, will cheat defensively because I'm a little more comfortable going to my left than I am to my right. I don't like to backhand the ball, so I'm going to try and take that stuff. We see it in the game of tennis now where people are run around pitches. You line yourself up defensively so you don't have to do something with your glove.
This one's bounced to short. Spoelstra tries the backhand. It goes into left field, and they're going to say that's Mark's going to call it an error.
Ed Ford.
And that is E6 on the play. No, she was there in time that she could have backhanded that one with ease or gotten in front of it. That's an error.
So if I go in the outfield and the ball hits me in the glove, it's not an error.
No, that's not there's different, Mark, because she saw the ball. The center fielder didn't see the ball. Sun got lost, just threw up her hand. Bunt up in the air, diving Gertz, no good on the catch, and all runners are safe. Nice job for a nice attempt by Gertz, but she's.
Now that's a hit.
That is a hit. That's a single. Runners at first and second with one out.
So again, now if you're Long Beach, you're down 3-0. You're down because of 2 unearned runs. All you have to do is get that base hit, slowly work yourself back into the game.
And it's not like they can't come back. Long Beach, they were shut out Chafee 7-0. Beat Cuesta 10-1. But lost last game to Mount Sac. So they can score. And there's a line drive to Spoelstra. She snags it out of the air. Runners are back. Spoelstra's a good-looking shortstop out there, Mark.
Yeah.
Had that error, but came back with that clutch play on that liner. And for Ileana Bernal now batting. Grounded to second, her last at-bat last inning. And that hit her. So there was no doubt about that hit pitch. So Megan Martinez, with 2 outs, wants to encourage her team to get on base. You have your leadoff batter with 2 outs, Elijah Vega, as Emily Hoppy will run for Bernal. And I know what Mark would say if he was a coach to the umpire. That hit my player in the jersey also.
My person got hit with the pitch.
So Gertz has the bases loaded with 2 outs. Elijah Vega at bat, batting .417, 11 RBI on the season. Big at bat for the Vikings.
And if you're the Long Beach coaching staff, you look at Emma Wolf in right field, you want to know how strong her arm is. You know Eros has a pretty good arm in center. Spoelstra has an excellent arm over in left.
Strike one outside corner. Good pitch by Gertz. And that's where you want to pitch Vega, Mark, because you talk about that hole on the right side. Anything middle end is going to be dangerous, and it's probably going to be a base hit, maybe more. As you see Vega trying to go that way, she pulls it, just got ahead of it. You think we'll see that pitch again?
Yeah, I do, and I'm going to go with what you're suggesting, too, is if somebody is going to go away, then take that pitch and go the opposite direction.
And that's how the defense is set up. And she tries to pull it, and she does, but it's foul. And with Elijah Vega, Mark, I don't care. Right now, I'm looking for something good to happen. Even if it's outside, I'm pulling it. I feel good, and here comes Cody Murray. Strategizing.
Yeah, I think if you're Murray, you're going to say honestly, you know what? Throw a pitch out there and make her fish for it. Don't give her something to swing at. Make her fish for the next couple pitches that are out there.
Yeah, because I think she's got the rhythm of Gertz, and anything inside, Mark, call it now. It's at least a triple.
Vega's only struck out 3 times coming into this game so far this season. 48 at-bats and only 3 strikeouts. So that's 1 strikeout for every 16-plus at-bats.
Yeah, 48
when she
bats.
gets up there.
She's got 20 hits.
You know, so it's somebody who has a really excellent eye at the plate. So most likely you're not going to fool her at the plate while you're up there. But that doesn't mean you have to give her something sweet to hit.
No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, top 4 here at Nancy Kelly Field at Cerritos College. State champions in 2008, Cerritos College. State champions in 1978, Cerritos College. Long Beach has got 1, too. Low one inside, runner stay.
And there's that one you say go fish it on. You got a 1-2 count. Corey, you can do it again. You can do it 2 more times and take the count full. Don't give in to the hitter at this point if you're Cerritos College.
Long Beach trying to channel 1995, and Vega trying to channel that state championship team. That's foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Hoppy on first. Blevins at second. Tobar at third. This one's fouled again.
And the more pitches you see while you're at the plate, the more comfortable you become. You see the rotation on the pitch. You know what their strong pitch is from the circle when you're watching them. You know what their weakness is, too.
And she leaned into that pitch mark to give herself up for the run.
You know, when it sounds like you're thumping a watermelon, you know somebody got hit by a pitch. When it sounds like the wind just blew by you, I'm not sure it does. But an all-important run.
Bases are still loaded with 2 outs. Mccallum grounds one foul to the left side. She flew out to left in the first at-bat in the first inning, walked in the third inning.
Nobody's warming up for Cerritos. We saw it early, but now it looks like they're going to ride the arm on the person who's got a 3-1 lead.
No, 1 pitch on the way is low, 1-1. Sendejas is a nice catcher back there, Mark.
And here's a runner. Don't get silly as a runner. I love runners take these big. You know what? You got some catchers that'll snap that ball down and hang you out to dry. If you're Long Beach, you don't need that now.
1-1 pitch, bounced to third. Foul ball.
Coach Martinez was going to kick it just a little fair if she had an opportunity.
I don't know if you're going to kick that fair. That's going to be the 3rd out, Mark. Look how close Hernandez is playing to that third base line. You want to pitch on the outside to go with it. Gertz gets the sign, likes it, delivers, outside pitch, line, and snagged out of the air by Spoelstra. So 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, and 3 left on base at the end of 3.5. Falcons 3, Vikings 1. This is SportsNetUSA.net. Mark, all these games are brought to you by
Miller Toyota of Anaheim. That's right. You've got that Toyota and it just needs to get tuned up? No?
Nope. So 3-1, Falcons with the lead. As Wolf, Lopes, and Tennis Spoelstra, who made that outstanding catch, will come up to bat.
Well, Spoelstra has made 2 excellent plays over at shortstop so far. And you look at her tall, lanky shortstop who is that great first step. That's one of the things you need defensively. When you think about playing the game of softball and people look at these wonderful athletes that play this game, and hey, if you've got a little time, if you got nothing to do, come out and watch a little community college softball. That's right. You've got some of the best softball players in the nation playing for these teams on the community college level. Why aren't they at that D1, D2, or NAIA school? Well, maybe it just wasn't time for them to leave home. Maybe they academically, they just wanted to get accustomed to taking a college class, so they play on this community college level. You're not stepping back athletically when you look at these young women. It's just community college, and they can be some of the best around here on SportsNetUSA.net. But we'll go back to that defensive play, Corey. We've already seen it today where you take it. We saw Vega out in right field when she saw line drive coming right at her, made that very good first backward step to get that line drive. You saw Spoelstra twice at shortstop now. That first step has been the thing that has gotten her to the ball quickly and then got her glove in the right hand position to make the plays. So some excellent defensive plays by both these teams today.
Yeah, and both those plays by Spoelstra came after she made the error. So deep in the box is Emma Wolf. Cienfuegos still in the circle, delivers a strike. 3 runs, 5 hits, 2 errors for Cerritos. 1 run, 3 hits, 1 error for Long Beach. Infield, in at the corners. And Wolf, I'm not sure what that was.
I'm going to swing. No, I think I'm going to bunt. Well, I'll try and slap it. Wolf out of Mayfair High School.
Home of the, I don't know either. This one's outside, 1-2. Monsoons, thank you, Ed Ford, 200 points per head.
Now, you didn't say what is a monsoon.
Out of the Suburban League. 1-2, foul back. Stays inside. Good crowd.
Excellent crowd out here today. Of course, a wonderful program here at Cerritos College, so you know why they're out here. Everybody respects Cody Murray.
In the dirt, 2-2.
And her dad, Bud, who's still out here. Brendan Ashley and Jennifer Simmons are also the coaches out here for Cerritos.
2 balls, 2 strikes, no outs. Bottom 4. Inside, 3-2, brings it full. And Mark, this is a little bit more convenient than broadcasting football over in Cerritos College, even though we love calling the games there. I don't need to work out as much, so this is good. This one's fouled. Count stays full.
You know, if John Van Gaston's listening, he'll realize if I could get Corey into a snack bar, he'll make it without wheezing or anything. That's right, John. Put a snack bar up high over at Cerritos for the football games. Corey will make it no time flat.
Yeah, but I'd be passed out. 3 balls, 2 strikes, and blows it by too late is Emma Wolf. It's another big K. That's the 4th of the game. Cienfuegos 4.38 K per 7. Mark, what's that mean?
Well, I'm looking at my score sheet trying to figure out what it means right now.
Rihanna Lopez walked, flew out. 3rd time at bat, takes the first pitch for a strike. It's not a knuckleball, Mark, but it is sure a good pitch.
You want that excellent walk to strikeout ratio per inning is what you want as a pitcher in softball.
Fastball changes it up, out of play. Yeah, it did. I'm glad I'm not parked that close. I saw Ed Ford, you brought your car around. Now you got to be pretty good to hit Ed Fords and pretty strong to hit Marks. 0-2 pitch on the way. That's out of play. And Brianna Lopez says, you know what? I'm going to try to hit Mark's car.
Udell warming up again for Cerritos. It's a little conversation in the circle. A little conversation down the base path.
Right now you're going to say Ontiveros and Cienfuegos are talking about you got to hit your spot. You don't want to bring anything in her comfort zone. So high and outside, you want to try to make her chase. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Lopez, another one of those who stands tall in the box. High, inside, 1-2. Off-speed pitch, and she waited on that one just to stay alive. Pokes it foul.
Did you see that thing hang? It looked like a gust of wind just sit here. Let me put it on the tee for you.
And a good job by Lopez to hang on it because she got out in front but held that bat back. That's how you know you're a quality hitter.
And Corey, really, when you think about this game, it should be 1-1 right now here in the bottom of the 4th.
1 ball, 2 strikes with 1 out. Delivers, hitter. And if you're Cienfuegos, you got to be shaking your head on that one. That's a tough at-bat. Tough battle. Lopez stayed alive just enough so she can take that hit to get on base. And Cienfuegos said, I let one get away as Tina Spoelstra steps in, walked and singled, RBI single in the 3rd. Fastball strike.
So you look at Long Beach, they're going to just creep Juarez in a little at first base. Tobar stays in a normal position at second. Callip straight away at short.
Lifted foul one more time. As you see, they can't catch up with that fastball.
Well, and when you see a fastball like that, too, that's when you're going to hear announcers like you and I use that common phrase, it's a sneaky fastball, because the hitters, if they thought she threw that hard, would be on top of it. They're waiting on the pitch.
Yeah, they're waiting, but I think it's a good fastball. And in the right field, can't come up with the catch is Elijah Vega. Lopez down to second base, throwing to left field, and she'll stay. So we're going to call E9 on Vega, even though she had to run a lot. She doesn't make that catch. Are you going to give her that base hit, Mark?
Well, no, I'm just trying to figure out what a hit is on my left anymore. I'm a little confused. One outfielder has a bounce off their glove. Yeah, I call it an error.
See, Mark, you're not watching the same game. Nope. Center field, going back deep, lost the ball. Didn't really have it in the first place. Inside pitch, ball. An official scorekeeper calls that a base hit. So a single to right field, runners on first and second. 6 hits for Cerritos. This one's lined through the 5-hole into left field. Blevins up with it. All runners hold. Bases loaded.
And I like what Laura Blevins did. As that ball gets out there, she drops a knee to make sure the ball does not get through and roll all the way to the fence. Too many times we've seen people go down to get it. They don't get down quick enough. The ball takes a wicked little hop to the right or the left, and a run comes in.
And this will bring up Kira Bolinas, excuse me. Bolinas looking to add to her 7 RBIs on the season. Lopez at third. Spoelstra at second. Spoelstra at first. 2 singles by Spoelstra and Spoelstra. And Bolinas looked a little bit lost on that swing. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Long Beach comes in, drags everybody in. Outfield steps up about half a step. Infield tied at the corners. In 2 steps at short and second. Crowd in the plate.
This one's a line foul. And you talk about an unorthodox style by Gertz in the circle. Unorthodox style by the left-handed batter Bolinas hitting. It looks like it's all upper body and arms. No torque from the midsection or below with the legs. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. And this one, she finds some torque and pokes it into left center field. That's going to bring home Lopez. That's going to bring home Spoelstra. And she has her first hit on 3 straight singles by the Falcons. Brings in 2. Score is now 5-1 Cerritos.
Now batting for the Falcons, the second baseman, number 33, Vega.
Well, when you have strong upper body strength and quick wrist, you can do what she does. And that's what she does with that solid hit into the gap.
Rain Vega, fielder's choice, her last at-bat, struck out in her first at-bat. So 2 runs across. Eight hits now for the Falcons. 1 ball, no strikes. 2 balls, no strikes. Cerritos feeling it. And Mark, when things get away from Long Beach, they really get away. Against Mount Sac, they scored 1 in the first, 2 in the third, and then to close it out in the 6th inning, they scored 3. Foul back, hits the fence. And you talked about it earlier before the game started. As Long Beach, they can complete these games, the rest of the season will be good, but they're just going to have to complete, and we're here in the 4th inning. And again, the opposite team is getting stronger. Vega, the righty, fishes 2-2.
Well, and we take it back to what you and I talked about at the beginning of the game. You got to play solid defense, and even the coaches from Long Beach told us that. If we play solid defense, we will play well and win our games.
And there's another hit. That's going to be caught by Vega in right field. A diving catch, runners back to first and second. Elijah Vega says, you want defense? I'll show you decent defense. That's the second out.
Now batting for the Falcons, the third baseman, number 32, Kayla Hernandez.
So Kayla Hernandez now steps in, has a double, and hit by a pitch in her appearances at the plate. And Mark, again, you talk about defense, you say that should be the third out.
Yep. And again, you watch Vega with an excellent step. She's done it twice now in right field.
Strike 1 called.
And it's that first step. Yeah, does it mean somebody's fast? No. Does it mean they're fleet of foot? No. But they get that first step that gets that solid defensive plant, and with the reach, they catch up with the ball.
Off-speed pitch, and Hernandez waits on it, drills it into center field, and they're going to hold Spoelstra. Throw that back to third base. No, Spoelstra stays. So runners full of Falcons. So second hit of the day by Kayla Hernandez. It's going to bring up Kayla Aros. E3 in the second. Scored a run. RBI single in the third.
And Megan Martinez is going to make a few changes here. So we get timeout. With the score 5-1, the Falcons on top of the Vikings here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Ed Ford, Van Boo on camera, Corey Neyland to the left of me, and of course our international scout, like always, with her speed gun in the crowd, Gabby Neyland here on Sportsnet, USA.net. So a little timeout. Don't forget a little community college baseball this weekend on Sportsnet, USA.net. Corey Neyland's going to go out and see what Nick Fuscardo's baseball team's doing for the Fullerton College. Fullerton College in the playoffs in basketball. So Perry Webster's team, once again, after they made it to the top of the heap last year at state championships, will they go away? Well, Ed, when you look at this, and you're on the air with us here on Sportsnet USA, you look at it once again, I'm going to go back and really say it all started with defense and a couple defensive plays or miscues by Long Beach. If they don't make it, we're sitting in a game that maybe is 2-1, 3-1 at the most right now.
I'd go along with that. There have been some plays that should have been made but weren't, and that's always the game. Also, there could have been a couple, you could also say that either team could have scored more because we've had a situation where people haven't been able to really lay down effective bunts. Mm-hmm. And I'm not an advocate of bunting as much as you are in certain situations, but if you really need to sacrifice, as you said, the player needs to sacrifice themselves. And you're not trying to get a base hit there. You're giving yourself up. You're making it obvious, but you're dropping it someplace where that's the only play they have is to go to first, and you move the runners up. So I think that's hurt both teams today, not being able to move the runners up one more base.
And the other thing is we need to be solid in the circle too when you look at both these teams. And we've one of the things we've seen, Ed, when we talk about Cypress College and we talk about Brad Pickler and what he's got over at Cypress, it always seems like Brad's got somebody in the circle as Ed Ford walks away. Corey Neyland comes back. And that's one of the things that Megan's looking for now with her team here at Long Beach is to find that solid pitching. And Corey, both these teams, that's what they really need to find, is that pitcher that can sustain that 7 innings and go 5 or 6 games in a row and pull off victories for them.
Yeah, and if you have that at this, especially at this level, it's going to be a key. And that's what the good teams like Cerritos, Mount Sac have. Those consistent teams have that. So Elena Vizcarra is going to step into the circle. Her 8th appearance, 2-1 on the season, 1 complete game coming into here, and 12.2 innings pitched with a 3.32 earned run average.
And you're going to say that's, if we get into discussions about ERA, Corey Neyland's going to lean and say, Mark, you know what?
It's not bad anymore. It's really not. Not at this game the way it's played now. It's not bad. Let me put it this way, 1.5, like you talk about, is great nowadays. 2.5 is good. 3.32, it's all right. It's not bad. Times change. Us old folks got to change with them.
Guess it's time for Papa and I to retire.
First pitch on the way from Vizcarra is a strike. With 2 outs here, bottom of the 2nd inning, 2 runs already across, 9 hits for Falcons, 5 runs. Only 1 hit for the Vikings trying to get out of this inning. So 3 2/3 by Cienfuegos, and there's a ball outside, 1-1. 1 error by the Falcons. So that run error is going to be 1 unearned run. 4 earned runs, Mark, but you're going to say actually only 2 of those runs should have been earned.
And that's Vizcarra in the circle now for Long Beach.
And this one is into left field. That's a single by Earls. Brings in 1, brings in 2. Bolinas comes around from second to score. Spoelstra lofted in from third. And that's a 2 RBI single. And the score is now 7-1. Arlsmark now has 3 RBI today.
Yeah. And really, when you look at it, Corey, too, this has been a team that the eighth batter comes to the plate. Has all been able to drop base hits just in front of. And sometimes it's not necessarily how hard you hit the ball, it's where you hit the ball.
And that's the 5th hit of this inning, 10 hits total. So 10 hits on 7 runs, that's pretty efficient. Against Rio Hondo, they put up 10 runs, had 10 hits. So Cerritos very efficient at the plate.
And again, realize Cerritos winning 4 of their last 5, now looking to win 5 of their last 6. Rolling into conference play strong.
Inside corner to Sendejas.
And that's the other thing, too. Heat up when it's conference time.
What the good teams do, Mark. Trying to get back to the Super Regionals as they did last year. They got to the Super Regionals, promptly went 0-2. This one's fouled off Sendejas' foot. And you look at Vizcarra's pitching motion, Mark, and you see what she does with that ball when she brings it out, kind of hangs it out there a little bit before she brings it across. Runners at second and first. Hernandez at second, House at first. 10 hits to the 3 hits that the Vikings have. 7-1, your score, bottom 4th. Popped up, right side. Under it is Juarez. She makes the catch for the 3rd out. But not before 4 runs. 5 hits. No errors. And 2 runners left on base at the end of 4 innings of play. Cerritos 7. Long Beach 1. This is CCCAA softball on SportsNetUSA.net. And Mark, now who the game's brought to you by.
Well, I tell you what, if I was riding in your car, I'd be in trouble. But I happen to own a Toyota, and if I was to be driving a Toyota right now and needed to take it in, well, there's only one place I'd take it. That'd be Miller Toyota of Anaheim. That's right. Need that tune-up? Miller Toyota of Anaheim. Hey, a 3-for-1 tire deal right now. Miller Toyota of Anaheim. Might be somebody who's just come back and served their country. Well, there's veterans benefits. All sorts of specials over at Miller Toyota of Anaheim. So if you've got that newer used Toyota and you're not quite sure what to do, take it over to Miller Toyota of Anaheim and say, hey guys, give me a tune-up. Fix it up so it looks like it's a brand new car. And I tell you what, at the end of the day, you'll be looking at those brand new cars at Miller Toyota of Anaheim. Miller Toyota of Anaheim, a proud sponsor of high school sports, community college sports, but most of all, education. Located at Euclid in the 91, Miller Toyota of Anaheim.
So 7-1 your score, and Alyssa Cienfuegos will be the first person to face Sierra Gertz this inning. Top of the 5th, and Cienfuegos doubled in the first inning. Popped out to second base in the 3rd. Right-handed batter. Takes that one. Nice pitch by Gertz. Now that looked like a changeup a little bit, Mark.
Well, I tell you what, right now, if you're Long Beach City College, you're hoping somebody reminds you of Shady Sickleys that played at Long Beach, one of the hottest or best hitters that ever played there. She played there in 1997. That's what you want if you're a Long Beach fan. Getting somebody on that bench that could hit the way she did.
Two balls, one strike.
She's the only player in softball history at Long Beach City College to bat .500. She finished the school year with an average of .493 and an all-time best of 71 hits for the season for Long Beach City College. She had 13 doubles, 44 RBIs. She was first-team All-American, first-team All-State, and the South Coast Conference Player of the Year. Her lifetime batting average, .428 at Long Beach City College.
Cienfuegos draws the walk, and she gets on base.
So you talk about a little magic. Get that runner there.
Now bring up Agape. Walked and flew out in her 2 at-bats today. 7-1. They're down 6 runs. Need something to happen, and there's a strike delivered by Gertz. Talk about former players. Of course, their coach, Megan Martinez, part of their state championship team in 2001. Outside.
Isn't she a graduate of Cal State Dominguez Hills?
Yes, she is.
Okay.
One ball, 1 strike, no outs, and Fuegos at first. We also got a chance to see Long Beach again, Mark, at the Glendale tournament earlier this season, a few weeks ago. At that Dave Hawk Wilder tournament, teams were finding themselves, and it'll be interesting to go back and look at the complete polls and see who's there now that was on that team, or excuse me, in that tournament. And this was blasted to left field. And it's a foul ball. That was launched out of there, Mark. Don't they do that rocket testing over there down near Long Beach?
They do.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. Tesla.
Well, she Tesla'd that one. Just foul. I'm sorry. Sorry to interrupt. What were you going to say?
No. I mean, really, this is a hitter's ballpark, though, Corey. I mean, we've watched the American flag blow out all day long. If you get into the jet stream.
2 balls, 2 strikes, no outs. Oh, beautiful pitch. Even though that was a ball, that was beautiful.
There's nothing like watching a hitter's legs quiver, move,
Get up on
dance.
the tippy toes.
I'm not tall enough. I can't reach it.
Sierra Gertz inventing the tippy toe pitch. 3 balls, 2 strikes, no outs. This one's just a bit outside, and that's the second straight walk. Bring up Julia Juarez. Grounded this short, her first at bat. Popped back to the catcher, her second at bat. So Julia Juarez batting .316 on the season. With no outs, you're down 6 runs. Do you sacrifice?
You know you're asking the wrong guy.
I know. And that one's at the knees for 0-1, so now you're hitting away. You're thinking with that bat by Agape, you're thinking, okay, we found a rhythm, we found what she does in the circle, and let's take her downtown. And she lifts one to right field. Wolf under it and makes the catch one-handed. Tagging is Cienfuegos at second. She makes it to third, standing up. So out number 1, Jennifer Tobar, who flew out to right, reached base on an error and scored a run in the 4th, the only run of the game for the Vikings. Now she'll step in. Team's leading hitter. 20 hits, 3 doubles. Right-hander takes it low, 1-0.
And here's the thing you look at, too. You look at Emma Wolf in right field, who does an adequate job out there. Again, nice play when you're tagging up and going to third, when you're down by 6 runs. You as a coaching staff understand defensively every person that's on the field right now. So an excellent play by the coaching staff by Long Beach.
Two balls, no strikes, 1 out. Top of the 5th inning, Tobar takes that one for a strike, 2-1. So Gertz, calm and cool in the circle today. Started off with 2 walks in the first inning, but really settled down. This one's bounced to Spoelstra, over to second, over to first, not in time. That'll score Cienfuegos from third. And there's 2 outs.
Spoelstra is very smooth over at shortstop for the Falcons. She really has a nice way of positioning herself defensively when she makes her plays. Excellent footwork for a shortstop.
So the only runner now is on first, and that's Tobar. Into the batter's box is Laura Blevins, who singled her last at bat. The lefty, speedster, with 2 outs, 1 strike. Tries to lay one down. And really with 2 outs, Mark, 1 no balls, 2 strikes. When you have a speedster in the left-handed batter's box and you have that new rule, does that inhibit your proclivity to make that bunt or try to drag that and get a base hit?
You know, I think it's where you put yourself in the box. I think you back up like 1.5 feet and you practice at it to drag that bunt.
Inside ball. 1-2.
And again, with the drag bunt, Corey, all you have to do is use your one hand and lay the bat on the ball. I mean, it comes down, again, the simplification of bunting. Catch the ball with the bat.
Outside, 2-2.
Now, if it's a screwball that's moving about 98 miles an hour at you, it's a little hard to do.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 7-2 your score. Lifted foul. Gabby Neyland had her hands up, ready for that one, Mark.
Well, she's quick as a cat over there.
She is. And now Blevins turns it around. The switch hitter from the right side now. 2 balls, 2 strikes, trying to get on base by any means possible. Turns around, and Sierra Gertz with a strikeout pitch was not called. Cerritos don't like it. Long Beach says 3-2.
This is fun. I like the fact that she did that. Long Beach is having a great time in the dugout right now. They're down by 5 runs, but they're enjoying themselves. Reminds us all again, this is a game.
And that's low outside. So turn her around on her, gets the walk. That's the 3rd walk this inning, given up by Sierra Gertz. And now Samantha Ontiveros steps in. Behind the plate, she's been solid. At the plate, she's 0 for 2. Tobar stands at second, ready to run. Speed on the base paths. Ontiveros pops one up. Sendejas didn't know where it was. You know, with 2 outs, Mark, you're in the 5th inning. You got speed on the base paths. Send them.
Yeah, I don't mind doing that either because they've already had a good time in here. And give it to Long Beach. They've really had an excellent time. The coaching staff's a wonderful staff to be around. They've got some very talented players. Have a little fun, you know. Catch everybody off guard.
Long Beach 8-7 this season. Cerritos 8-6. 1-0 in conference. Cerritos last game beat LA Harbor 7-6 on a walk-off home run by Brianna Lopez. They had a 3-game win streak stopped by the best team in the nation, Cyprus, and beat Rio Hondo 10-3 the game before that.
Rio Hondo was up at that Glendale tournament.
Yeah, you got a chance to talk to Coach Urqueta. And Blevins gets hung out to dry at first base. Back in time, yes. So Blevins does what Mark Pavlovich says to do. You got to get dirty on the base paths.
That's it. If you're not dirty, you didn't play. Yeah, that's why Corey Neyland, I mean, you know.
I was just that good, Mark. Strike 2, 1-2. I didn't need to, unless absolutely necessary. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 runs scored by the Vikings, 7 for the Falcons. Hops straight up. Sendejas gives chase and makes the catch. So 1 run, no hits, no errors, 2 left on base. At the end of 4.5, Cerritos 7, Long Beach 2. Coming up for Cerritos, Emma Wolf, Brianna Lopez, and Tina Spoelstra. Softball action on SportsNetUSA.net, the best place to catch all softball action.
And, of course, when we talk about softball action at community college softball, most of these young ladies would like to go to the next level. And we look at the next level, well, Washington creeps in to the top of the heap right now. They're 10-0 on the D1 level right now for the NCAA. Florida is number 2. UCLA is number 3. Oklahoma is 4. Oregon's 5. Texas A&M is 6. LSU is 7. Baylor's 8. Florida State 9. Alabama 10. And Tennessee sitting there at number 11. And, of course, Washington being undefeated. UCLA at the Mary Nutter Classic sort of beat up a few people and jumped from number 6 to number 5 up the food chain. Of course, Oregon had an excellent team last year, so right now we're weighing a little heavy on that Pac-12. We'll see what happens when we get to the College World Series.
I got a question for you, Mark. What happened to Texas? Texas softball. What happened to them?
Well, Texas A&M's in there.
No, just Texas.
You know what? I have no idea what happened to Texas softball. I mean, really, when you look at them, they have just disappeared because, Corey, they're not even in the top 25 anymore. I mean, Utah is number 28. They're below Utah. Texas used to have an excellent softball program and just has disappeared along the way. Pac-12 is strong. We'll see what happens when tournaments come around. And
they're always strong.
And who they have to play each other. I mean, the NCAA stacks it when it comes to regionals and super regionals.
Well, here's the thing, Mark. A Pac-12 team will win the championship this year. That's going to happen, whether it's Washington, UCLA, or Oregon, or some surprise team.
Utah may slip in there?
A Pac-12 team will win it this year.
Okay. And, of course, when we talk about all these wonderful young ladies here that play for these teams, well, where did the majority of the solid players go? Well, they come out of the state of California. You look at Coach Wallach out of Florida, said, hey, last time I won the national championship, 45% of my team was all from California.
It has to be if you want to win. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. If you want to win in college basketball, college softball, you have to get players from California. And Mark Pavlovich has seen most of those players in the last 20 years. Inside, 4 strike.
I feel like it.
Elena Vizquera came in last inning, took over for Cienfuegos. And so another illegal pitch. Long Beach started the game off with an illegal pitch. I'm going to try to listen. Can't quite understand what the issue was.
And with the shaking of the head and the smiling at the umpires, I'm not sure that Long Beach understands what the issue is either.
So Mark Pavlovich talked about a little leniency earlier in the ball game. There's none tonight.
And so you're getting a coach's warning, too.
And so because Cody Murray on third base said they can't conference, now they're going to say that was a conference.
And so an illegal pitch was called. The pitching coach goes out to find out what it is, goes back over to tell the pitcher what it may be, and the home plate umpire says that that's a visitation to the circle.
have an ejection?
And Megan Martinez, because of that, is being ejected.
And the thing that happened too, Corey, is that Megan goes over and wants to know why it was a visit to the circle. For whatever reason, the umpire didn't like her questioning him and referred to your attitude can get you ejected from the game. And she turned around and basically, let's be very honest, she turned around and said to him, well, if you want to eject me, and he did. Once again, it's where you're around officials sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes they get into it, and this is the first ejection that I've seen that we've been, since we've been doing these games, yeah. I mean, we've seen basketball coaches get ejected over the years, but we haven't seen a softball. And there's a strike, 1-1. We've even seen Nick Fuscardo get ejected.
Well, we saw Perry Webster get ejected.
Well, there's no surprise on that one. Perry's got 1T walking into the gym. That's how intense he is.
They should call him Petey Webster.
Emma Wolf takes that one for a strike, and Emma Wolf is trying to get hit, is what it looks like it.
Well, and Emma, who's with batting 167 coming in the game, which you may want to suggest to Emma. Oh, look at her back foot. She's out of the box again.
No, she's in there.
No,
she's in there. She's right inside that box.
If her foot is on the line, she's technically out of the box.
And that's ball inside 2-2. See, we can't see that front foot, that front of the foot. 2 balls, 2 strikes, no outs.
Courage go, Mr. Pavlovich just getting ejected.
Vizcara, off-speed pitch, strike 3, pretty. And Mark said there was an ephus pitch that was going to be thrown today, and it was.
Nice little change-up right there that just freezes her and breaks across the inside part of the plate. Well, Corey, don't you like rivalries, though, in softball? I mean, softball every once in a while, all the girls cheer and they sing their songs and everybody else, and you'll hear people about women's sports. Oh, they like each other too much.
First pitch outside, Lopez walked, hit by pitch, lined out in her 3 at-bats, scored a run. Yeah, there should be the rivalry. Cerritos and Long Beach.
There should be a rivalry between those schools, shouldn't there?
Yeah, there should. Because they're not that far from each other. Ball 2, 2-0.
And you should be a coach at any level, at any sport, be it a man or a woman's sport, to say, I think we're the best.
Yeah.
You know, and we should be treated accordingly when we're at home or away by the officials on the field.
I want to ask you during the break, during this half inning, or the full inning, 2-0 pitch from Vizcara. That one's lined in the left field. That gets down for the first hit for Lopez. Gets to the wall after diving Blevins, and she's on the second base standing. So big double for Lopez. And for Lopez, that is her 18th hit.
Now batting for the Falcons, the shortstop, number 36, Tina.
I didn't quite hear what violation that was.
Neither did I.
But that'll bring up Tina Spoelstra. RBI single in the second. Singled in the fourth and scored a run. Walked her first time up.
And has been excellent with the leather. She has played an outstanding shortstop today.
1 out, Lopez at second. I wanted to talk about your surprising teams, or who you thought was going to be a surprise team this season. First pitch on the way is a strike. 1-0-1.
In softball?
In softball. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Bottom of the 5th inning with a 5-run lead, 11th hit of the day by Lopez for Cerritos. Off-speed pitch, and there's a swing and a miss. 0-2.
She's pulled the string a couple times. Right now she's got an off-speed pitch that's working. She's varying her speeds, high, low, in and out. The ball rolls off the edge of the table when it gets to home plate.
Yeah, she looked like a yo-yo almost. 0-2 pitch is in the dirt. Juarez, Tobar, first and second. Mccallum, Agape at short and third. Blevins, Hoppy, and Vega left to right in the outfield. Ontiveros calling signs. There's a timeout. Vizcarra didn't like any of the signs she was given. 1-2, 1 out.
So the game slowed down just a wee bit here as we're in the bottom of the 5th.
2-2 is your count. Ryan Osborne checking in on SportsNetUSA.net. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. I want to thank everybody for tuning in, watching the live stream here from Cerritos College. I keep looking at the football stadium, Mark, and it's making me tired. Just thinking about walking up the steps.
Yeah, Ryan, you may need to come out here and help Corey get back to his car, or at least help him take down the equipment.
Here's what I'm going to do. Gabby's cold. We got to go.
Yeah. Here's what Ed Ford's going to do.
2-2 in the dirt, 3-2. So Vizcarra got ahead in the count, 0-2, Mark. And again, these Cerritos batters battling makes this count full. That's good coaching.
Patient team at the plate.
Three balls and 2 strikes with 1 out. Lopez at second base. Ball 4. So Tina Spoelstra is at first with Brianna Lopez at second, and Brianna Spoelstra, who singled in the 3rd, singled and scored a run in the 4th. She steps in, and that left side of the field, Mark, patrolled by Spoelstra's today, doing a good job. 7 runs, 11 hits, 2 errors for the Falcons. Pitch on the way is inside for a ball. 2 runs, 3 hits, 1 error for the Vikings. Game mark now, 2 hours and 9 minutes old. This guard delivers for a strike. Spoelstra nods her head, says, okay. Yes, it was. Now I'm ready. Vikings playing her straight away. As we said, 200 across the outfield, Mark. And the hitter's ballpark, especially in this day and age. 8 home runs for the Falcons this season. Spoelstra takes that pitch for a strike, 1-2.
And you really do see them when they come to the plate. Cerritos in this game has been somebody who's willing to allow the count get on top of them, Corey. Times we thought, okay, they're going to be up 1-2-3, down 1-2-3. They get a 1-2 call on them. Next thing you know, it's 3-2.
And this one's lined to left, fouled.
Ed Ford just ducked down there. Peeking around the corner, Ed looking, went, whoops. Ed Ford says, I just missed me, Mark. Don't worry about me.
You know what we can use right now?
Cup of coffee?
Off-speed pitch too high from Vizcarra, 2-2. I was thinking hot chocolate.
Okay.
I'm going to have me a big old cup of hot chocolate. Maybe some donuts or some pancakes. Actually, I was thinking about you yesterday. Had a craving. Had a donut.
Oh, man.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Pitch by Vizcarra outside, 3-2, and a good eye again.
And here it comes, a 1-2 count. Now it goes to a 3-2 count. So it's a team that's down in the count and has been able to hang around and get the count in their favor.
Payoff pitch, strike 3 at the knees. That's out number 2, and that's a good pitch by Vizcarra.
The first baseman, number 17, Bolines.
And I'm surprised Spoelstra went down looking. And this will bring up Kira Bolines. Walked and scored a run, had a 2 RBI single in the 4th. First pitch on the way. Right up the middle, her second straight hit. Fumbled in the outfield by Hoppy. Around to score is Lopes. So an RBI single by Kira Bolines. She's got 3 RBIs today.
Now batting for the Falcons, this second base.
8-2 now.
Her last 3 times up, she's gotten on base all 3 times. So that's been a productive day, to say the least.
So Rain Vega takes ball 1 low. Tina Spoelstra at second and Kira Bolines at first. And you talked about her bat speed and her arms, strength in her arms, Bolines. That's what she did again. Just muscled one straight up the middle. 1-0 pitch, and that one's slugged in the left field. That's going to be a base hit, bringing in Spoelstra from second. Bolines rounds third. She comes home. Throw to the plate. Ontiveros too late. She's safe. And there is a double by Rain Vega, and she advances to third on a throw home. An RBI double by Rain Vega. So 3 hits this inning.
And that's game.
And that is the game, because those 3 hits scored 3 runs, and that makes it 10-2 in the 5th inning. So that'll do it as Ed Ford comes on. So 10 runs, 13 hits, 2 errors for Cerritos, 2 runs, 3 hits, 1 error for Long Beach. And again, big hits late in the ball game.
Well, and Ed moved down to camera, and Ed, a couple things there. We saw a dispute at home plate where Megan Martinez got kicked out. Again, we had Long Beach looking. It's just then saying that the runner goes around third base. You had a great angle on that being down there with the camera. I thought from where I was just here in the broadcast booth that she missed third base. I don't know if you saw it when she hit third base, if she stepped over or got past the bag.
I couldn't really see it to say what it was, so I'm going to have to refrain from saying anything.
Well, I tell you what, there's only one guy stepping on his foot today. That's me.
I mean, it could have happened, but like I said, I was blocked from seeing anything.
And it was a good hit. I mean, she laid into that hit, Vega did, and it was a nice job. That's the way you want to end the ball game. 2 runs in the second, 1 run in the third, 4 in the fourth, 3 in the fifth. And again, Long Beach struggles after the first 2 innings.
Okay, before we get off the air, because you're going to ask me, we got Ed Ford here too, and Ed follows softball, so let's go to that question. Ed,
Okay.
Corey asked, when you look at the season, don't pick the favorites, but who do you think might be one of those softball teams that shows up in the playoffs here on the community college level that nobody's looking at right now?
Well, let's go back to our polls. I mean, I think you have to talk about the favorites anyway.
Okay.
So
Okay.
we know that in the South we're going to have Cypress College. Palomar is getting hot again, and last year I think they kind of started off slow for them, and then they ran off something like, 12, 13, 14 in a row. You've got Mount Sac. So those are always the teams that are going to be up there. Then, of course, hey, I like Lisa's squad over there at Santiago Canyon. They've got more pitching this year, but, Cypress spanked them yesterday. So, no, the day before.
The day before, because you sent us that note that,
Now, teams that, at least from the South, that I like, that I think are doing better, I think a team that Cody played yesterday or the day before when they played Harbor, LA Harbor, and that was a tough game, and they came back and beat Harbor. Harbor's a lot better this year. I think Harbor lost all their games last year. So Harbor is a team that's got some players. I think they got some from El Camino, and they're going to be a lot tougher team. They're not going to be a pushover like they were before. I think. Now, I badmouthed Riverside last year because I really didn't think they deserved to be in the playoffs, and they shouldn't have been ranked as high as they were. But I think that was, at least for last year, factual. But this year, I think the Tigers have a better squad. So in that OEC, you got Cypress, then you've got San Diego Canyon. They should probably finish 1 and 2. But Riverside, if they hang in there, could be a tough team. And Santa Ana's not bad. Yesterday, I don't know how the Hornets lost to Golden West, but Golden West took it to them. Golden West has been scoring a lot of runs in some innings. They played a game against Saddleback, and they lost because they had gained the lead, I think, or they were coming back. Yeah, they gained the lead, and then when their players got kicked out, they didn't have enough players to continue the game because they didn't have a player to each position because the player was disputing a call with the umpire, kicked them out, and they lost the game by a forfeit, 7-0. I think another team that people should watch out for is Imperial Valley. I think they were a good team last year. I believe they should have been in the playoffs. We'll see if they can really do it this year. Right now, they're, win-wise, they're right behind Palomar. I don't think that in El Camino is another favorite. If you go up north, you got your regular suspects of San Mateo. They're a real tough team. Let's see if they can really do it, though, if they get in the state playoffs. In the state championship. I always like Alone. They do. They have a good coach. They're going to be right up there. They're just as tough as San Mateo. They had to forfeit, I believe, 7 games last year, so they're going to be hanging in there. I think a team that, if you look at that poll, you've got Feather River at 7th. I think last year, this is my opinion, Feather River they got slighted. They should have been in there. They won their conference, and anytime somebody wins their conference, you can't let teams that finish below them that they beat in conference had a better record than head-to-head. You can't let those other teams in front of them. I'm sorry. I don't think things should work that way. So I think Feather River will be another team that people will be looking at. Also Monterey Peninsula. Sac City up north is playing better now. They're starting to come on, so that'll be another team that people are going to have to watch out for.
I agree with Ed when he talked about one of the teams he brought up that's a dark horse team is Santa Ana. Santa Ana has played better this year already. They've stepped up and they've got a little more pitching in the circle, a little stronger there, so I think they're going to be somebody that you're going to have to reckon with as the season moves on. I think they're going to slide into the playoffs. They're going to sneak in there. Will they win in the playoffs when that happens? Probably not, because I'm with you, Ed. You got to go with the favorites when you finally hit the playoffs. I like East LA Valley. East LA is playing well. They have done well up in their area. They're playing better this year, too. So that's going to be a team up in that region that you need to look at. They brought in some outside players that are a couple freshmen that are really good, have some very strong arms. So I think they're going to answer. Is it Diablo Valley, or is that what it is up
Diablo
north?
Valley.
Diablo Valley. That's
Yeah.
another team that every time I go to the CCCAA, they've done something. And I think that's that's a Northern California team I think sneaks in there and surprises people. At the end of the day, I'm going to be like Ed. I go with the favorite. Cypress, again, who's going to knock them off? I don't know. They're always loaded in the circle. They have at least one or two. And when you look at Lisa's team, Ed, you know what? All they have to do is get a little stronger in the circle. Not great deal, because if her team can put up as many runs as they've done in the past, don't discount them, and don't discount Cody and Cerritos.
Oh, no, that's one of the teams I was going to mention. They had that win against L.A. Harbor. They won today. So
yeah, they're 5 out of their last 6. They won.
They've got things going. And also, I wouldn't count out Long Beach either, because Long Beach played well last season. They just kind of slowed down towards the end a bit, but they rebounded and they got into the playoffs. They just happened to, unfortunately, go up against Santiago Canyon. And Santiago Canyon, even without pitching last year, they're just a hard team because they're going to host, and they're a hard team to beat at home.
Yeah.
Unless you're Cypress, which is taken. I've been out there 2 seasons, and I don't think Santiago has beat Cypress. They didn't beat them last year any of the games. They didn't beat them the year before any of the games. So Cypress took 3 of 3 and 3 of 3, and they took the first one. So, there's a long way to go, but, some teams have played better than they did last year. Santa Ana, I think, as you said, they'll be battling in there, but, it's kind of Santa Ana or Riverside who's going to take that third spot there. Saddleback, I think, in the OEC, they did well last year, but and didn't really maybe get the recognition they deserve. But they're having a down year this year so far, so it's going to be tough for them. The Hornets, you thought they would have
been better with the pitching.
I thought they'd be better this year. Last year they got in on the wild card. Mm-hmm. I'll have to dispute that. Like I said, I think there were some better teams you could have put in there. Yeah. I'm still a big Imperial Valley fan. I really think if they have a good record and can play well in their conference, I think they should really get some consideration. They've come from a program that wasn't doing much to they're a pretty good program. And you can't forget about Southwestern either. They've got a good program, and Antelope Valley,
they're going to be down this year
sure.
because they lost a lot of
They
power.
seem a little down this year. Yeah, they lost some power. So
don't publish it. Are you on the phone?
No, I'm on the air.
We're on the air.
What?
That was premature. I didn't even say anything.
No, you know what? And I agree with you. I've got the Long Beach coach Sandy next week, and Corey's going to give her her headsets, and you can come on the air with us because it's very interesting. Ed was out here, Corey was out here, and Megan Martinez, a good friend of ours here on SportsNetUSA.net, with her Long Beach team out here, and unfortunately, she was politely asked by the officials today if she wanted to go home and watch a little TV early instead of watching SportsNetUSA.net. And I'm going to discuss it from somebody who saw what happened. And the thing that I found interesting is you went back when it all started because a second illegal pitch was called against your team. Let's set things up. It was called against your team. Your pitching coach goes out to inquire, which you can, what's the illegal pitch?
Right.
You can inquire. You can't dispute it, but you can inquire, which they did. And then on the way back, let the pitcher know in the circle what she was doing wrong so she doesn't do it again.
Exactly.
Because he stopped by to discuss that, it was thought that it was a visit to the circle.
Right, which is not correct.
Which was told, hey, it shouldn't have been. We were just explaining. You came out. And what I thought was sort of fun is because he sort of warned you, and you turned around and looked at him and said, hey, if you want to throw me out of the game, go ahead. That's what I hear while I'm sitting here.
Right.
Which is a brother-sister thing. I'm sorry.
Right.
That's what gender say to each other, hey, if you want to do that to me, go ahead.
Absolutely.
And he flippantly said, okay, you're gone. Now, I don't know if I pictured it right from your perspective,
No, that's exactly
but that's
correct.
what I saw.
That's exactly correct. First, I want to apologize to my athletes. I did not set a good example. However, I do want to make sure that they know that I have their back. I didn't believe it was an illegal pitch, and when it was decided that it was an illegal pitch, I want to know how to make it better, how to correct it for my athletes. I want to give them the best opportunity to be able to win little moments when they're pitching, when they're in the batter's box. And when the opposing coach said that we needed to be charged for a conference, I didn't agree with that. You're only allowed, 2 conferences and 1 conference, and then you have to change your pitcher. And I didn't want that to happen. I knew my freshman pitcher was struggling a little bit. I thought I might have to go out there and visit her again. So I questioned the conference call, and he gave me a warning, and I didn't agree with the first warning. And then that's, I got the second warning. That's when I was immediately prematurely tossed, I felt like. But again, I do want to apologize to my team. I do feel badly. That's not an example I'd like to lead, but I do want to let my team know that I have their back. I have my coaching staff's back, and I do want to be able to correct the pitch if it was incorrect, and that's what we were doing at the time. That was definitely should not have been called for a conference, and I also don't think that I should have been tossed.
You know what I love, and I really, Corey and I talked about this on the air, because mostly what happens when you look at sports, and this is a gender thing, guys can get real nasty with each other. We were talking about Perry Webster, the coach over at Fullerton, gets a tee, gets thrown out of the game and everything else. We said when you watch women play sports, at the end of the day something happens, and again, I'm loving all your softball players saying this, but everybody hugs each other and they go, oh, isn't it wonderful in women's sports? They're a lot like the guys. They don't get nasty with each other.
Right.
You know what I like? I like rivalries. And I see a rivalry between Cerritos and Long Beach.
Absolutely.
I see 2 teams that really want to win, and nobody cares if it's the women or the men. I adored the fact that
rivalry.
you guys really want to beat each other's brains
Definitely.
in. And you can respect each other, but you don't want to lose to each other. And that's what makes sports so much fun. That's why people should have more rivalries like you two have, because that's what draws us, the fans, to come watch and see who wins that rivalry.
I think the rivalry really intensified last season. I think we were down by 10 runs, and we were able to pull off a 13-10 victory, and I think that really ignited the rivalry that we have with Cerritos, and we get to see them 2 more times this season, and that just makes it more exciting.
Okay, Ed Ford, gentleman to my right here, said you could be one of the dark horse teams in the playoffs.
Absolutely.
So
we've got a lot of season left. This is only conference game number 1. We're not even thinking playoffs yet. We definitely expect to be there. We have a lot of season left. This is game 1 of conference.
So girls should go away because maybe we'll pick on them for a second. Not really. But what does we talked to our coaches, said it started with defense.
Absolutely.
Little more strength in the circle. So from an outsider, because you were an outsider today because you got thrown off the air, thrown out of the game as an outsider, what does Long Beach City College, I brought up some of the great players that you had, Sickleys, who had one season batted .500 for Long Beach City College, back in 1990. We talked about the pitchers. What does your team need to do to get up there in the upper rarefied air in the CCCAA?
Well, for starters, we need to give them 21 outs. We need to play 21 outs. We don't need to give any extra outs. We need to play a much more fundamental, solid defense. We need to take care of the ball a lot better. We're not playing a Long Beach City College defense. We're not playing our Viking defense right now. But we're gonna be able to fix that. We're about the mid part of the season or towards the beginning of the conference play, and we just got to give them 21 outs. We can't give them any more than that. And that's got to be the starters.
And let me say, because I love Megan, her and
I love you.
We're really good friends. We love softball together, and we
Absolutely.
enjoy it with people like Ed Ford, who's always on the air with us. But Megan, what I've got to say too is when you say, you should apologize to your players. I love a coach that's willing to stand up. I love a coach that's willing to say, okay, maybe I made a fool out of myself, but I made a fool out of myself for the best intention.
Absolutely.
Because it's my team and it's my players.
Definitely.
And you can't mistreat my players.
No.
And so let me go back and say, do I think she should apologize as a fan? No, I don't. I will stand for a team I root for. I want my coach to go out and fight for my team, and I want my coach, if they get tossed, they get tossed, and that's okay. And rather than sitting on the bench, having my team feel like they get humiliated by whomever's out there, I want you to fight for it. So as an educator, I applaud you because
thank you.
in life, we're always going to have to stand up when we feel we've been mistreated, and that's what you did today. And let's hope it rolls over
I hope
as
so.
your young ladies realize that, hey, maybe when it gets a little tough, maybe I won't say anything like the coach did, but I'll do something. And let's give it, before we go away, let's give it to Cerritos. I tell you what,
they played great.
I looked at Spoelstra out at shortstop today. She made 3 plays against you that
Wow.
if she doesn't make them,
We
it's
blew
a
up in
different,
the game.
it's a different
Absolutely.
game.
She was dynamite. Yeah, she was a big key player for them.
Well, you know what? You go back home, look at your AD, look at everybody else, and say, hey, I was with sports@usa.net. They need to be around all the time.
Exactly.
And be calling all our sports
I agree.
here on
I'm a big fan of your
sports@USA.
guys'. I'm a huge fan. I'm a huge fan of your guys'.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks
Thank
for coming
you.
on there.
Thank
Thanks
you
for
guys.
stopping by.
Thanks for having me. Go Beach.
Go Beach. Long Beach City College. We'll see as it goes on. And, yeah, they're going to be there at the playoffs. So as it comes the end of the year. Well, Ed, you had Megan was on the air with us, and she talked about how she feels. I'm going to go to you. You've been around coaches enough. You got to fall in love with a coach and want to play for a coach that basically comes in and says, hey, maybe I shouldn't have done what I did, but I'm willing to stand up for my players.
Yeah, I mean, as you said, as a fan, does she really owe any apologies? No. But hey, you've got to fight for your team, and you want to have a coach, like you said, that will do that, because that's something that boosts the players. And even if it didn't do anything for this game, they're going to remember it, and it could have that effect that it snowballs and snowballs, and then that could be the one of the factors that gets them into the regionals again.
So we look at it before we go away, and I'm going to let you go away. Does anybody beat Cyprus, or do they go back-to-back undefeated seasons?
Wow, we were talking about that, and if you look at it on paper, the tough games, they have a doubleheader against Mount Sac that's coming up. They have a doubleheader against Palomar that's coming up. Palomar and Mount Sac, 2 teams they've won the state championship too. Look at Palomar's record. They have a fantastic record of what they've done in the past and what they currently do. And the same thing with Mount Sac. Those are 2 of the best teams in the state, hands down. So those are the games they may lose. They play El Camino again. El Camino could have stopped Brad at right before 1300, but for some reason, in the 7th inning, all of a sudden, Brad waved that magic wand and somebody boots a ball or something like that, and they tie it up and then win it in the 8th last year. But as we talked about, back and forth with texts and emails, anything can happen. Anybody can come out and get you on a certain day. Mm-hmm. So, for Brad to win all those games in Cyprus, to go another undefeated season, I'm not going to say it's not possible, because they just have a certain magic to them. I mean, they beat San Diego Canyon 12-2. I mean, they mercied them. That's San Diego Canyon's, mode of operation. So, I don't know. I'm not trying to be wishy-washy, but you just don't know. You could go out there and they could run up against Golden West, and Golden West could keep piling up those 8-run innings. And if they can keep all the players on the field, they break the Charger streak. Or it could be San Diego Canyon. It could be who knows who they play. We'll just have to wait and see. But I think all the teams are going to have to play their hardest, 100%, and not make mistakes, because the Chargers it's not sneaky. I don't know how you could describe it. They just start a momentum and they just score a run, and they score another run, and they score 2 runs, and then they beat you. Yeah. It's not like some other teams that, all of a sudden they clobber the ball and they're hitting home runs, and, they have a 5-run inning. Not that, Cyprus can't have that, but Cyprus isn't, they've got some power, but they're not one of those where they have a bunch of power hitters who can really crush the ball. It's just they find ways to win, and you turn your back and they've got a 3-run lead on you, and then they've got a 6-run lead on you. So it could be anybody. Anybody could end that streak, but I don't think that's the big deal for any of the teams, because what you got to do is get into the regionals and then survive in the super regionals. If Cyprus loses 2 games this year, that doesn't mean they're not going to the playoffs. And if somebody comes along and beats Cyprus, let's say, Cyprus is going to play Cody later on. I think Cody would rather be in the super regionals or the regionals than to say, "Oh, I'm the one who ended, the Chargers' winning streak." I mean, that doesn't mean as much.
Well, I think this is a team you need to watch out for. Is the Cerritos team? I think they're going to be there at the end of the day, just as long as Long Beach and everybody else. Well, speaking of the end of the day, I guess we ought to say it's the end of the day here on SportsNetUSA.net.
Yes, it is the end of the day.
As Cerritos comes away with a huge victory over Long Beach City College.
The sprinklers are on. We better get out here.
With the score being 10-2, mercied at the end of 5. So for Ed Ford, Corey Neyland, Van Vu, Gabby Neyland, I'm Mark Pavlovich. You've been watching Cerritos Softball on SportsNetUSA.net.